Hello everyone and welcome to the top 10 N.A.D characters on Bleach Brave Souls. For this list I'll be covering the characters best suited for a normal attack damage build. Starting off the list at number 10 we have Apache, who has the highest natural attack for a green character so far. It's impressively high at 721, and the damage dealt increases when you take into effect her plus 30 bruiser and her normal attack damage link. She also has a pretty good attack speed, and her range on her normal attacks is pretty good too. The rest of her stats are pretty decent. Some of them might be a little lower than average, but for the most part she's a solid character. Next on the list we have the power version of Kampachi, who at first glance you would honestly think is a terrible character considering his stats are awful. Seriously, the only stat that he has that's actually average is his attack stat. His stamina is low and his defense is one of the worst defenses in the entire game. All that said, this character is actually really good. The reason for it is because this character is one of only 3 that has both flurry and poise. This means that even though his attack is average, it basically doubles with flurry. And although he doesn't actually have the normal attack damage link, he is actually one of the best characters to have the normal attack damage build, considering every normal attack damage link you add basically doubles, again, with flurry. Not only that, his power gets even greater when he unleashes his special, which basically gives a boost to his stats, but only for a limited time. Next up on the list we have Ichigo Kurosaki Fully Holified Edition. Not only is this guy's attack really high up there, but he also has 50% multipliers just by himself. He has a plus 30 bruiser as well as a plus 20 N.A.D link. He also has an impressive attack speed and strong attacks that really complement his style, considering they don't take very long to execute and they don't leave him vulnerable to attack while he uses them. Not only that, but he also has a vortex move which is very valuable for normal attack damaging characters. Next up on the list we have the technique version of Kenny, who is basically an upgraded version of the power Kenny in every single way. That said, his stats also aren't really that great, with the exception of his very impressive attack. It may be because of his link, but his attack is one of the best attacks in the game. And much like the other Kenny, he also has flurry and poise. That means that attack now does double the damage as it hits twice. It's strange, but there's not much more we can say about this Kenny. He's simply a damage inflicting monster. It's really that simple. Coming in at number 6 on the list is Uryu Power Illusion. Not only does he have a really high attack, but he also has a boosted soul trait of plus 25 normal attack damage. He is also a ranged character, meaning he can inflict this damage from a distance. His strong attacks also complement his style, as they push back the enemy so he can inflict more damage. Uryu also has a plus 30 bruiser and plus 20 long reach, letting him inflict more damage at a greater distance. Up next on the list is yet another ranged character, Tag Team Jushiro, who has one of the highest attacks in the entire game. He has a plus 20 N.A.D link and a plus 40 bruiser. This means that by himself, his normal attack damage does 60% more damage. His normal attack also has a chance of inflicting paralysis, which is good considering the string is not very long. What is long, however, is the duration of his vortex. Not only does it have an incredible range, but it lasts a really long time. And as I mentioned earlier, having a vortex for a normal attack damaging character is really useful, as you trap your enemies while you continue to do damage. Coming in at number 4 on the list is the swimsuit version of Riruka. She's the current holder of the highest attack in the game, and like Jushiro, she also has 60% multipliers by herself, with a plus 40 bruiser and a plus 20 N.A.D link. She is also a ranged character, and her strong attacks are designed to keep her enemies away from her, meaning she can do even more damage from a distance. And when she's really in a bind, her special really comes in handy. It inflicts a defense debuff and lets her do even more damage to anybody she hits. Coming in at number 3 is the new Stark, who might be the fastest attacking character in the game. This makes him extremely powerful because he has the second highest attack in the entire game. He also continues the trend of having a 60% self multiplier because he also has a plus 40 bruiser and a plus 20 N.A.D link. But what makes him really stand out among everybody else is his ridiculous attack string. As I mentioned earlier, it is extremely fast. Not only is it quick from attack to attack, but also from string to string, which is extremely effective. It is also very flexible. You can take out an enemy in front of you and enemies to your side in the same string. Honestly, I don't think we'll ever get another character that's as fast as Stark. Coming in at number 2 is the only other relevant Kenny that hasn't been mentioned. Although Broken's most effective build is the damage reduction build, you still can't rule out that the normal attack damage build is still a very effective build on him. His attack may not be as high as Kendo Kenny, but literally every other stat is better. He also has Flurry and Poise and a strong attack too that boosts his stats by 33%. And his damage reduction link isn't wasted either. It may not be stacked for this build, but it's still extremely useful when it comes to not dying. Before I reveal number 1, here are a few honorable mentions that didn't quite make the list for one reason or another. And at number 1 we have Noitora, who a lot of you saw coming. And for good reason. I've been building up Flurry and Vortexes for so long, you had to know this guy was going to be on the list. Honestly, this guy has some of the traits from a lot of the other characters on this list. He has a normal attack damage link as well as Flurry, which is almost the equivalent of having a 140% normal attack damage increase. He also has a very useful long-lasting Vortex move that you do not want to get caught up in. His Vortex move might be the most effective Vortex move for a character in the entire game. He also has excellent reach and speed on his normal attack that get better with Adrenaline and long reach. And like Riruka, his special inflicts a defense debuff, letting you do even more damage than before. It's gonna be a long time until we get a better N.A.D character than Noitora. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this list, hit like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know which top 10 list you'd like to see next.